What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to the Kingdom Come Chiefs podcast. We are only 6 days away from the start of training camp. We are only 7 days away from the first practice that is open to the general public, and I'm excited. So let's start talking about your Kansas City Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce on a push fade comeback, and the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
Hey Chiefs Kingdom, let's get right into it. You know how I start every video. Let's talk about some channel stuff really quickly. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. I've been interacting with many of you in the comments, and I really enjoy it. For the most part, there's a couple guys that want to kind of be hardheads or whatever, but you know, for the most part, you guys have all been really fun to talk to. Even when we disagree, it's fun to see the other side and listen to your guys' ideas, because it does make me think about my ideas. It forces me to defend my opinion, and that if you can't defend your opinion, in my opinion, you have no good ideas, right? If your ideas cannot withstand debate, they're not good ideas. So, again, thank you everybody that's supporting the channel. We did get the subscription numbers up. I want to thank everybody for that. We're down to 94% of our viewers not subscribed, which is actually a really good number. But let's keep going. Let's not rest on our laurels. Let's keep going for that 1,000 subscribers. I really want to thank everybody that's out there commenting, liking, and all that stuff. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification button so you get notifications when I put a new video out. And with that, let's move on from the channel stuff. Let's start talking. Willie Gay, he has come to an agreement. He's going to enter a diversion program where he attends mental health counseling, which honestly I think pretty much everybody should be in mental health counseling, to be completely 100 with you, right? Like, just mental health is so important. I'll get off my soapbox now, but I really don't think it's a bad idea for anybody. So I don't think that the Willie Gay thing is going to turn out into a suspension. If it does, it'll be a very short suspension, maybe one game. But I really don't think we're going to see very much of a suspension, if we see one at all. In other news, training camp right around the corner, like I said in the intro, and the first practice is next Wednesday at 9:15, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yep, 9:15 a.m. Looks like all the practices, for the most part, are starting at 9:15, except the very last one is at 8:15. The very first practice that is open to the public is Thursday, a week from today, July 28th. Practice opens at 9:15 a.m. So try to get there early. Get yourself a seat up in the bleachers so you can sit there with your notebook and start diagramming and taking notes if you're a nerd like me. Otherwise, you can just go have a good time like everybody else. The autographs are going to be linebackers that day, so you might get a chance to get a Leo Chanel, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton autograph that day, so that'll be cool. And it is the first practice that is open to the general public. I won't be able to make that practice, unfortunately, because I'll be running my own practice at that time. Friday, July 29th, practice 9:15 a.m. There's a team session for autographs that day, and a $5 admission fee for that day. So I might be able to make that one or the Saturday one. I'm going to shoot for one of those two to be the first practice that I go to this year. I will, if I get to go to one of those, fingers crossed. I got a lot of other stuff going on in my life, but if I get to go to one of those, I will definitely make a video about what I see, okay? I am super excited about camp starting because, frankly, this news cycle in this part of the off season is just dreadful for anybody that loves the sport, because I couldn't care less about some of the stuff that they're putting in these articles. I mean, it's like, all right, I guess I'll talk about a logo for the 50th anniversary of Arrowhead. I hate that stuff with the fire of 1,000 suns, and I can't wait for football to start. Anyway, other news that's going on. You see, I got a lot of feedback in the comments that you guys actually like PFF and it's a tool that you use. Some of you are very, very firm in your use of PFF. I just want to reiterate that PFF is not gospel. It's an opinion of a football guy that sat and watched video. And they have lots of football guys on staff, but they're not assigning multiple different dudes to watch one set of film, right? It's still one guy sitting down and grading one guy, right? Like, if they say, hey, we got to give Orlando Brown a PFF score, guess what? They're giving it to one of their scouts and they're saying, hey, go watch all his film. And that guy is going to go watch however much film he's been assigned, and he's going to assign him that ratings number. So it's still just a guy watching film and telling you what he thinks. How is that different than me or anybody else that watches film? Seth Kaiser's great at breaking down film, and he taught himself. So, hey, shout out to Seth. If you ever watch this video, man, I think you're great. He taught himself, from what I understand, how to watch film, and that is absolutely amazing to me. He's a smart dude. I trust Seth Kaiser infinitely more than I trust PFF because, frankly, he's right more than PFF. So if you really want to go get an opinion of somebody that watches film and you don't like mine, go watch Seth, because I've yet to see something where I'm like, nope, Seth, you're full of crap. Just my opinion. The reason I brought that up is because this week the Madden ratings came out, and hey, if you're all into PFF ratings, why aren't you also into Madden ratings? Same system, guys. EA assigns some guy to sit there and watch film and watch all 17 games of somebody from last year and assign them a rating value. It's not really any different. If anything, the Madden ratings are a little bit more in depth because they're assigning values to things like speed and acceleration and awareness and stuff like that. And just so you know, and just so I'm clear, I don't agree with Madden ratings most of the time either, because Tyrann Mathieu is the highest rated safety in the entire NFL in Madden. So I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? If you do, maybe you do. I don't agree with that. I like Tyrann Mathieu. I'm glad we had him on the team, but ultimately I totally understand why we moved on too, because he was wanting quite a bit of money to stay around, and really the value wasn't there anymore. So he sat in free agency for a considerable amount of time, and I assure you, if he was the best safety in the league, he would not have sat in the free agency pool as long as he did. Just wouldn't have. So that's kind of my point, man, is, take all of these things that we can use, like PFF scores and, articles, guys like Seth Kaiser, there's great publications out there like The Athletic, which I highly recommend, Nate Taylor, all these guys. I mean, there's, RGR, there's all these great guys that are out there putting content out there for you guys. Use all of them, put them all together, form your own opinion. Don't rely on one source like PFF, because it just, honestly, if you're relying on one source, your argument's going to be weak. If you can cite several sources and give opinions to, or, the ultimate argument is, well, hey, I watched 8 games of film on this guy from last season, and this is what I saw. That's the ultimate argument. Not everybody has time or access to the coach's film, so I understand if you don't. But just diversify your sources a little bit, because PFF is not the gospel, man. And I had a discussion with a few people in the chat, in the comments, and I really enjoyed it, even though not everybody agrees with me, and that's fine, man. It forces me to reconsider my thoughts and to defend my thoughts. And if you have ideas and thoughts that can't withstand debate, then you don't have very good ideas. So I encourage you guys to continue doing what you're doing. I love talking to you guys. Something else to talk about. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has come out and kind of said that, hey man, I expect to be good. I expect to have a breakout season. They wrote an article about it over at Arrowhead Pride. The title of the article is How Clyde Edwards-Helaire Could Be Poised for a Third Season Breakout, and the article is by John Dixon. It was just released today at 11. So it's a good article. I suggest you go over there and read it. I am not going to read it all to you, obviously, because I want you to go over there to Arrowhead Pride and give the guys some clicks and read his article, because he put a lot of work into it. But some of the quotes that I kind of pulled out of this, as a rookie, Edwards-Helaire thought it was easy. And they show a thing right here where he's talking to, actually, Nate Taylor of The Athletic. And here's a quote from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Begin quote, "I remember I got scrutinized for saying the playbook wasn't that hard to learn. It was 3 years in college where I needed to learn 3 different playbooks, but this is year 3, and now I understand more of the fine-tuned pinpoint details of those little things. Coach Reed will tell us every other week that he's still learning stuff about the offense, so you'll never really become a master at it. You can only get as good as you want yourself to. That's really what it's been. Just trying to learn everything and help where I can," end quote. So that was Clyde Edwards-Helaire, kind of, in my opinion, owning up to the fact that when he was a rookie, saying that, yeah, the playbook's easy, that he really didn't have it as good as he thought he had it, right? So I'm sure he knew the playbook, and I'm sure there were parts of it that were very similar and that he grasped onto and he saw as familiar aspects. But now in his third year, he's saying, I really get it now. I have the finer details, and that attention to detail in an Andy Reid offense is absolutely paramount. So I'm hoping that, hey man, maybe he will have a breakout. You guys know how I feel about Clyde. I'm not a huge Clyde fan or anything. I've come to like him. But when we drafted him, obviously, there was a whole bunch of people saying, first of all, don't draft a running back in the first round. I would tell you that you would think differently if we drafted JT in the first round instead of Clyde, because frankly, I think if we had drafted JT in the first round, Jonathan Taylor, we would have another Super Bowl ring right now. I think he makes that much of a difference for this team, because if you can run teams out of that too high safety look and you can force them to start bringing more guys down into the box, there's too much to cover on last year's team and this year's team, frankly. So if Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a breakout season, we could see ourselves being very, very, very effective. And if he doesn't have a breakout year, dude, it's time to go get another running back. And I know there's not very many people saying spend a first round pick. I'm okay with that. You can find guys in the second, third, fourth round. But if there is a dude that's out there that is a dude like Jonathan Taylor is, for the love of Pete, man, just go get the dude. And I don't care if it is the first round. I would be happier than a pig in mud. All right. I try not to cuss on this channel to keep it family friendly, but I'd be happier than a pig in mud, man, if we had Jonathan Taylor on the team, and I wouldn't care that we spent pick 32 on him. You know what I mean? So it's all about perspective and who you take at that pick, really. But that being said, I would like to see us run the ball more. I'm not as run heavy as guys like Ryan over at RGR. I think he wants to run the ball quite a bit more than I do. I'm not into that, but I would like to see us run the ball more. I would like to see us be a little more balanced to where play action's a threat, and that they can't just back up into those too high safety looks. And when we get a if you get a 6-man box, good grief, you got to run the ball. You have to run the ball until they stop giving you a 6-man box. And then when they start giving you a 7 to 8-man box, you got to fix the box again. That's just kind of the way it is. They bring that 7th and 8th man down into the box. 7-man is kind of standard. But you bring that 8th man down in the box, you definitely need to fix the box with the pass. And there's been times in the history of the Chiefs where we would run it no matter what, and we were too run heavy. And, I can think of some Herm Edwards teams where we were just pounding Larry Johnson no matter what the defense showed us. and we should have been throwing them out of those 8-man boxes. Now we're a little throw heavy, and we don't run against 6-man boxes sometimes, and that's frustrating too. There's just some general rules that, you know, I guess I don't know if they're trying to be unpredictable or what, but there's certain looks, man. If you get a 6-man box, gotta run the ball. Get an 8-man box, need to be throwing the ball. So that's all I'll say on that, man. I think I've covered quite a bit today. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about. And hey, since we talked a little bit about Madden today, if you guys play Madden, let me know in the comments, man. I'd be happy to hook up with you guys. I'm on Xbox. I'd be happy to play a little Madden and get to know you guys a little bit better if you want to do so. So hit me up in the comments about anything we talked about or something you would like to see me make a video about. I am still working on making that tackle video for you guys. It might take me a little bit. We are ending our summer off-season program very soon and going into a full-blown camp next week where we get to put shoulder pads and hit a little bit. So it's going to be a busy week. But the week after that, hey man, I get a little time off. So I'm hoping to get that tackle video out to you. I don't think it's any rush since we got a whole season to kind of figure out the Orlando Brown situation. And frankly, I'm kind of tired of talking about Orlando Brown. So I wanted to make this video just about everything else that's going on. Anyway, with that, guys, I'm going to leave you alone. If you guys are going to be down at training camp, let me know, man. Maybe we can link up and meet each other in person. That would be an awesome thing to do. And I'll talk to you soon. You guys stay safe out there. It's hot. Make sure you're hydrated and all that good stuff. I'll see you next time,
I'm still fly, let's go. It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now.